major shift in policy is underway, and it's got travelers talking. The Trump administration has decided to scrap a rule that would have required airlines to compensate passengers for flight delays with cash. But here's where it gets controversial. The decision is part of a broader move to reduce regulations on airlines, which some argue will benefit the industry at the expense of travelers' rights. Let's dive into the details. In December, the Biden administration proposed a rule that would have mandated airlines to pay $200 to $300 for domestic delays of at least 3 hours, and up to $775 for longer delays. This proposal was met with strong opposition from U.S. airlines, who criticized it as an unnecessary burden. Now, the Trump administration has stepped in, and on Thursday, they announced their intention to drop this plan. The White House stated that the Department of Transportation, DOT, will withdraw the notice, aligning with the administration's priorities. But that's not all. The DOT is also considering rescinding another rule implemented under Biden, which required airlines and ticket agents to disclose service fees up front alongside airfares. This rule aimed to protect consumers from unexpected fees, but it has been challenged by the industry and is currently on hold. The DOT plans to further reduce regulatory burdens on airlines by redefining what constitutes a flight cancellation that warrants ticket refunds, and by revisiting rules on ticket pricing and advertising. Airlines for America, a prominent trade group, has praised these actions, arguing that Biden's cash compensation plan would have led to higher ticket prices. They believe that the DOT's review of regulations is a step in the right direction, as it aims to address issues important to customers without excessive red tape. While U.S. airlines are already required to refund passengers for canceled flights, they are not obligated to compensate for delays. However, major carriers have voluntarily committed to covering expenses like meals and hotel stays when they cause significant disruptions. Internationally, countries like Canada, Brazil, the European Union, and the United Kingdom have implemented airline delay compensation rules. These regulations ensure that travelers receive some form of compensation when their flights are delayed, providing a level of protection that is currently lacking in the U.S. In December, the U.S. DOT considered whether airlines should be required to cover meals and accommodation costs after carrier disruptions, and whether they should rebook passengers on their next available flights, or even use competitor airlines if no flights are available within 24 hours. The Trump administration's decision to reverse Biden's airline consumer efforts is part of a larger pattern. In May, the Justice Department dropped a lawsuit against Southwest Airlines, which was filed by the Biden administration, accusing the carrier of operating chronically delayed flights. So, what does this mean for travelers? It's a complex issue, and the answer may depend on your perspective. While some argue that reduced regulations will lead to lower ticket prices and more flexibility for airlines, others believe that travelers' rights are being compromised. What's your take on this? Do you think the Trump administration's decision is a step towards a more efficient airline industry, or does it leave travelers vulnerable? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss the pros and cons of this controversial move.